Now let's discuss the practical that we have to do on the elasticity, that is the practical of finding the Young's modulus of a string. We have to find the Young's modulus of an elastic string. So this is the apparatus that we use. We have to get two identical strings hanging from the same supporter and a length about, the strings should have a length about 3 meters. These are the two strings, and let's name them as A and B. So this is the string A and the string B. The string B is the string that we use to find the Young's modulus, and string A is used as a model string. So we are fixing them to the same supporter. Then we have a main scale calibrated in millimeters. This is the main scale calibrated in millimeters, and this is the vernier scale, and we need a meter ruler. Half a kilogram weights are added to the string B, and this is the weight holder, and we need a micrometer screw gauge. String A, we are fixing a fixed weight. This is a fixed weight. It is fixed to the string A. This is the method that we have to follow when doing this practical. First, we fix both strings to the same supporter so that both the strings are parallel to each other, as shown here. We fix them to the same supporter. Then we hang a fixed weight to string A to keep the string well toned and vertical. String B is the one we use to find the Young's modulus. We are adding the fixed weight to string A. Then, when fixing the two scales, it is better if we can fix the main scale and the vernier scale so that the zero mark of main scale coincides with the zero mark of the vernier scale. So if it is fixed like that, we can obtain the extension or the reading straight away. If it is not coincided, if the zero mark of main scale is not coincided with the zero mark of the vernier scale, then we have to take the reading by subtracting the two readings, that is the initial reading before adding the weights and the reading after adding the weights. Then we subtract the two readings and get the extension. If it is coincided, it's better because then it can be the reading can be directly taken. Then we obtain the readings of the vernier scale by adding half a kilogram weights. One by one we add half a kilogram weights up to about 3 kilograms. So we add them one by one. So, and we take the readings, and also we take the readings, or the reading is the extension. We take the reading when removing them also. So for a particular weight, we take the reading when adding that particular weight and also when removing that, and we get the median value of the two readings, and that median value is the extension that we use to plot the graph. Then we plot the graph of extension of the string versus the weight added, that is capital M. So extension of the string, let's take it as simple E. So this is the dependent variable, it is coming to the y-axis, and the weight added, capital M, is the independent variable, it's coming to the x-axis. When we go into the calculations of this practical, first we have to define some terms, that is the masses added to the weight holder, let's take it as capital M, and radius of the string as simple R, length of the string as simple L, and Young's modulus as capital Y. We are starting our calculation using the basic equation. Young's modulus equals to the ratio between stress and strain. So stress is F divided by A, and strain is the extension divided by the initial length, simple L. We take simple L here. So Y, that is Young's modulus Y, capital Y, is equal to the force. The force is the weight, that is mass into the gravitational acceleration, mg is the weight, divided by the area of the string. It's if we take this as the cross section of the string, this will be the radius of the string. We have to write in terms of the radius. So the area is given by 5r squared. We divide it using the extension, that is simple E, and the length, that is the initial length of the string before adding the weights. Then we simplify this. We get y equals L goes up mgl divided by, this comes down, 5r squared E. Then we subtract E here from this equation because E is the dependent variable. Then E equals mgl divided by y, the Young's modulus, 5r squared. Then we take this m out of this equation and we get gl divided by y, 5r squared m. So this is the dependent variable y and this m is the independent variable x, the masses we add. So we get a y equals mx type graph, a straight line graph going through the origin. So this is the graph that we get by plotting it according to the readings that we get for the extensions for the particular weights. So it is a straight line graph, a y equals mx type graph going through the origin. If the string has exceeded its proportionality limit, the graph will have a curve. So to calculate the gradient, we are only taking the straight line portion of the graph. So we can find the Young's modulus using this, that is by getting the gradient. So gradient, let's equate it to these terms. So gradient, let's take simple m. Gradient is equal to here gl divided by y, 5r squared. So we are doing this experiment to find the Young's modulus y. So we subtract y in this side, we get gl divided by m, 5r squared. So we can get the gradient, that is simple m by y divided by x, y axis divided by x. Then we can find the Young's modulus. We know the gravitational acceleration, the initial length before adding the weights, and the gradient we can calculate using the graph we plot, and the radius. To get the radius of the string, we have to take readings of the string by using the micrometer screw gauge. We are taking the readings of the diameter of the string at one place. We are taking two readings perpendicular to each other, and like that we have to take readings at 3 places, altogether getting 6 readings. We have to get 6 readings using the micrometer screw gauge, and then we have to get the average of those readings to get the diameter. We get the diameter and we divide it by 2 to get the radius. When we get the radius using this method, we can substitute it here and we can obtain the Young's modulus of the string using this practical. So these are the important points in this practical. The first one is 2 identical strings are used. Why are we using 2 identical strings? That is to avoid the extension of the strings due to the temperature change. If a temperature change takes place while doing the practical, let's say an increase in temperature, increase in room temperature took place during the practical, then the strings will show an increase in length due to the heat change. So that increase in length will also come to the reading that we take if it's not removed. So since we are using 2 strings of the same material, when the room temperature increases, both the strings will show the same extension because both the strings have the same alpha, that is coefficient of linear expansivity. Both strings have the same coefficient of linear expansivity. Therefore, the extension shown by both the rings will be the same. Therefore, it will not come into the readings. Then the second one, to prevent the influence on extension due to faults at the fixed point. Both these identical strings are connected to the same supporter. Therefore, if there is a problem with the supporter or a fault at the supporter, that problem will be affected to both the strings. Therefore, that will get cancelled off because we are taking relative readings with the strings. At the end of the experiment, by measuring the length of both strings, we can check whether string B is the string we use to find the Young's modulus, whether it has exceeded its elastic limit. If it has exceeded its elastic limit, it will show a permanent extension. Therefore, there will be a permanent extension. Therefore, an increase in length will be there for string B. Therefore, we can find out whether the string B has exceeded its elastic limit if both the strings are not of the same length. If string B is having a greater length than the string A, then taking readings when adding the weights and also when removing weights. Why do we take readings when adding them and also when removing them? That is to find out whether there are any knots in the string and if those knots are straightened during the practical. That is, knots, there can be knots in the string, small knots. So when we add weights to the string, due to that force, the knots can get straightened, hence there will be a certain increase in length. So while adding the weights and when removing the weights, we can compare the two readings, and if the two readings have a noticeable difference between them, that means this can be one of the reasons for that difference. Then the other reason, that is, the string has exceeded its proportionality limit. That is, when the two readings, that is the reading taken when adding the weights and when removing them, if those two readings are having a difference, this is another reason for that. That is, the string has exceeded its proportionality limit, hence we cannot plot the straight line graph. The graph will be a curve. Then this graph shows here the type of readings that we will get if any knots have been straightened. We get the linear points like this, but again then we get some points above. That is because of the knots getting straightened. Then the length of the string L should be measured from the supporter to the 0 mark of the vernier scale. Mentioned it before during the practical, because the extension we are measuring is taking place within that region of the string. So these are the important points we should know in this practical. So this is the end of the practical. This is the practical we did to find out the Young's modulus of a string. Now let's go through a quick summary about what we discussed under this lesson, elasticity. First, we started the lesson by describing what elasticity is. So when a force is exerted on a material, due to that force the material will show a change in length. That is, it can be an increase in length or a decrease in length, and when the force is removed, it will come back to its original length or the original position. That was elasticity. And we discussed then what force per unit area is. That is, stress is force per unit area, and what strain is, that is extension per unit length. Then we discussed the Hooke's law of elasticity, that is during the proportionality limit of a material, the stress is directly proportional to the strain, and we got our equation from that law. That is, we got our elasticity equation, F over A equals Y E over L, our elasticity equation. Then we discussed about our stress strain curve for a material under a force. So we discussed about our stress strain curve. This is strain and stress, and we got this curve, and the limits we marked them. The proportionality limit, the straight line portion of the graph where Hooke's law can be applied, and the elastic limit here, and the yield point, and breaking stress, breaking point. And we discussed about how after the yield point it will show a permanent extension. And then we went into the relationship between Spring's constant and Young's modulus. That is, we got our two equations, F over A equals Y over L, our elasticity equation, and the equation that we use in springs, that is F equals Kx. And we got a new equation we got the relationship between the Spring's constant and the Young's modulus. We got it as K, the spring constant, equals Y A over L. This is the equation that we got for the relationship between Spring's constant and Young's modulus. This is the Spring's constant and the Young's modulus, area of cross section, and the initial length. Then we talked about the energy stored in an elastic material, and the equation we got for that is E, that is energy, is equal to half force into extension. And after that we got the energy stored per unit volume, that is, we divided this equation by the volume, and we got, that is, per unit volume we got E equals half into F over A, that is stress, E over L, strain. Then we talked about the extension or compression due to a temperature change, and we got ourselves the equation, that is F equals Y alpha theta A. Here F is the force exerted. We talked about a instance of compression, that is a rod fixed between two fixed supporters and the force exerted by the supporters on this rod. And Y, that is the Young's modulus, alpha is the coefficient of linear expansivity of that material, and theta is the temperature change, and A is the cross-sectional area of the material. Then finally we discussed the practical under elasticity, that is finding the Young's modulus of a string. So we took two identical strings hanging from the same supporter, length of about 3 meters, and we had a vernier scale, main scale, and we added half a kilogram weights to the string B, and we got the readings, the extension, that is while adding the weights and also while removing them. And we plot our graph between extension and the masses added, and we got a Y equals mx type graph, a straight line graph passing through the origin, and we derived an equation to find the Young's modulus of the string using the gradient that can be calculated using that graph. And then we talked about the important points in that practical. So that's the summary of the lesson we discussed, elasticity.
මෙම වීඩියෝව ඔබගේ දැනුමට උපකාරී වුණා නම් ලයික් කරන්න. මේ වගේ තවත් වීඩියෝස් බලන්න අපිව සබ්ස්ක්‍රයිබ් කරලා බෙල් අයිකන් එක ක්ලික් කරන්න. ඔයාලගේ යාළුවන්ටත් දැනගන්න ෂෙයා කරන්න අමතක කරන්න එපා.